So welcome everyone. I'm excited to share with you a complete digital marketing plan and strategy that focuses in on small and local businesses. Keep in mind, as I run through this, there'll be different sections where I speed up a little bit, some where I obviously spend more time. But if you have additional questions or you want to view this presentation, you'll see there's a couple spots at the end for my email. I'll give it to you now. It's rich@badrhinoinc.com. Please feel free to reach out with any questions, or again, if you want to have this presentation for yourself. So what are we going to cover today? Well, really the main points here are just helping you set some goals and looking at your targets for the year. This will give you a path forward. And if you're feeling stuck, a lot of times it comes from not being clear on your goals. We'll look at how to realign your KPIs and tracking to achieve those outcomes. And then the plan, the budget, those specific marketing channels, and then really where you should look at is the important trends in your line of local business. The main thing here is really setting you up for success, not only in 2025, but in the years after. So who am I? My name is Rich DeMatteo. I'm one of the founders of Bad Rhino Digital Marketing. We launched in 2010 and working with businesses, small and large, local, and obviously global as well, since our launch. So we've worked with a lot of companies that are just like you and in where you are. These are just a few we've worked with. It says hundreds. It might be 1,000, right? Actually, but we've worked with everyone from local hotels to doggy daycare to restaurants and bars, then local entertainment like this axe throwing and escape rooms and really everything kind of under the sun that's local, right? Chimney Cricket is a chimney sweep company that does a really beautiful restoration work as well, and then jewelry stores. So pretty much everything local we worked with. And in our presentation, we talk about how the strategies that all of them can be implementing. Just a bit more about Bad Rhino. You can see everything we do is custom and personalized to the businesses that we provide. Everything we do is also analytically focused. So we look at the numbers. We're not just saying, hey, there were results. We're actually backing it up with the numbers and walking you through that. And then we don't bullshit, right? If we're going to be sending you numbers, you're going to see exactly how those numbers came in. Okay, so that's a bit about us. And then let's start off with setting your clear goals. So a lot of these sections and slides will be asking you to write some things down. So what is your revenue target? If you don't know what that is, just come up with a number that makes sense, is a bit bigger, and you can obviously work backwards from there. But how much is that monthly? And then this is where you can think about your customers. How many calls or customers will that require, right, for you to reach those numbers? And this is where you'll probably need to have your average order value for customers. And some of you will, be able to talk about how there's repeat business and obviously lifetime value of a customer. So start with what you have, and that will help you plan for later. So clear goals, right, equals wind in your sails. What does that mean? Well, have you ever felt stuck? You're not sure where to go, what to do, right? Are you overwhelmed? This is will help you have a number, and then you can work backwards from that number to build out the different marketing tactics and strategies. So write down your current snapshot, average monthly revenue, typical number of customers you work with each month. And if you have to go weekly, go weekly. You have to go daily, then obviously go up from there. What's that average order value? And then other key metrics that you want to jot down and obviously improve on, right? Write down everything you need. And then what's your long-term vision? What's that annual revenue you need to reach? How many customers do you have to serve, monthly, weekly, daily, and then other metrics you want to track and improve. So what we do when we work with our clients is we help them build out, a target planner. This is just an example. I'm not going to, hit each of these things here, but you can kind of look at it. If you need to pause the presentation and run through, you can see how this works for yourself. And again, sometimes this is more custom. So you might see a screenshot like this where it works for that client, but maybe not everyone. This pretty much generally works for everyone. But again, you might have something more custom for yourself. As far as your goals, again, we're going to kind of beat this down. What is your overall goal for 2025? How many leads and customers we need monthly to get there? And how do you want to feel at the end of 2025? Is it just confidence in the business? Is it the freedom? Do you want to sort of grow a staff and grow your team? How do you want to feel by the end of 2025 to feel like the year was a success? So this is a budget planner. Again, some of this can be a little bit different, for different clients. You'll see that there's an annual projected revenue, and then 10% of the spend is typically what we suggest for marketing and sort of what's the best practice. It can be a little bit different for everyone. And again, this is just one example of a budget planner. If you contact us, we can send you one and then obviously work with you on it. So your marketing strategy, this is where we're going to get into the meat of the presentation. And you're going to see we're starting with our accelerated growth model, where if you can do all of these things in the year, you're setting yourself up for this success. If you can do a couple of them, it will help, but really ideally you want to be able to have all three of these models, right? So the drive customers is your first thing. From there, you maximize those conversions as you drive leads and customers, and then you optimize results. So starting with drive customers, you want to focus on your organic SEO. What does that mean and where should you really focus? So I'm not going to run through each bullet point, but you have your on-page, your website SEO, you have your Google business profile, which I don't care, every small local business needs to have their Google business profile claimed, optimized, you have your map tied into it. This is where you can have new content, you have all your services, and it's not just writing it out and just putting it on a page, it's indexed by Google. If you do it correctly, you're gonna appear ahead of your local competitors, you're gonna appear in the maps, and it's going to be one of the most crucial things you can do. And then you can back it up with maps ads and all sorts of fun stuff. But you can look through here. I think the on page and the GBP is going to be your most important. This is just a couple examples of the organic SEO, and you can see through our strategies the 68% increase in just 60 days in organic SEO. You can see the number of views down here. You can see where they're appearing. And this is not an ad. This is all organic, making sure that top tier plumbing appears, ahead of other competitors and are number 2 in the map. They also had different things here, right? They did some ads, but this is all the organic rankings, right? You can see where they're appearing here. Plumber near me, number 2. So again, if you can take care of your organic SEO, it'll do a lot for you right off the bat. Once that's done, and you can jump ahead and run into Google ads. So which campaigns should you be focusing on? Because there's a lot, right? And Google ads encompasses so much, and you can get lost in it. So the way I see it is if you can start with these 2 types of campaigns, it'll do the quickest good for your business, right? It'll have the most impact the fastest. So Google Performance Max, focusing on store visits. I can explain what that is in a second. And then Google Maps ads. If you've ever looked for a business near you, whatever it might be, restaurant, a tailor, doctor even, right? If you ever see the map, there's only 3 businesses. Well, you want to make sure you appear in that top 3, and then 4 if there's an ad. So with store visits and with really for Performance Max, it's a Google campaign that allows you to have your ad appear everywhere, from YouTube, in the search, in Discover, right? And obviously in Gmail and also in Maps. It makes sure that your ad appears everywhere. This is an example of a store visits campaign for the month of October for one of our clients, which is this is actually a bar down in Florida. And we're able to track the number of people who saw it on their mobile device and then walked into the store, which in this case is a restaurant. We had 61 tracked restaurant visitors in the month of October alone. You can also see the number of people who reached out, that contacted, whether it was a phone call or an email, that asked for directions, page views on their website, and then actually made the phone call in that connected. And then because they have an online order system, you can see that people did begin the checkout process. So we can do simple math and say that, the average customer might spend, $50, and I know that we only spent, I think it was around 100, 150 or 200 here. So we know that they did extremely well with this, right? And then as far as the Google Maps ad, like I talked about, you get 3 different businesses that appear organically here in the map. You can click on more places, but most people do not. When you run an ad, you're able to jump over everyone if you're not in here. So I highly suggest if you try to optimize your Google business profile and you don't get in the top 3, you can obviously optimize your maps for different keywords and locations, and then place yourself in the top 4, right? And you're going to be number 1. So I highly suggest that for local businesses. And again, that's something we can help with if you need any help here. This walks you through just a couple, examples of how we're able to drive leads through local ads like this. You can see the cost per lead. You can see their investment cost. You can see the cost per click, everything here, and this is how we can obviously help project ROI, right? 89 jobs at $750 per job. You can see it was $67,000 in revenue here. So social ads, same thing, right? There's a lot you can do. I know not a lot of local businesses, depending on the business, spend a lot of time on social, but it's a great way to engage your current audience and also attract some new business and keep them engaged on what you're doing. So use your organic content to keep those people engaged, and then when you have time and you want to actually spend some money on social, these are the 4 you want to spend time on, okay, and spend your money on. Direct traffic ads. That's driving people away from social to your website. Promoted posts, that's just taking your content that's going out that's maybe performing well already and then spending money on that to promote it to a specific audience. Lead ads doesn't work for all local businesses, but the companies that need to collect emails or drive service appointments, lead ads are great. And then growth ads, simply put, it's growing your Facebook page. And we could all agree that if your Facebook page has 500 people on it and they're all local, well, wouldn't it be better if that page had 5,000 people and they were all local? And that's what growth ads allow you to do. So social ads for traffic. This is 2 examples of the same content, right? One is on Instagram, one is on Facebook. One's a carousel, one is obviously a carousel on Instagram. This is on Facebook. They look different, but it does the same thing. We're able to see that we drove 1,600 clicks here for 46 cents per click, right? So less than 50 cents, does that, and it does extremely well. This is a promoted post for a menu for a restaurant, right? And what I love about this is the image doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's obviously not food, and you would think, okay, we need to have great images of food. This is simply put the menu, and what I love about it is not only the comments, but the shares, right? You're not looking for link clicks here because there's no link. What you're looking for is people to comment, and a lot of them will tag their friends and say, hey, let's go get the nachos with cheese this week, or let's go grab a beer and let's try whatever they see on here, right? And all the shares. So you have the initial reach from the ad, and then you have all these people that are sharing out to their thousands of Facebook friends, and then you get that I hate saying the word viral, but you do get a little bit of that, right? Because then you get 5 shares, that becomes 5 more shares, and it kind of keeps going. And that's all for a local business. As far as lead ads, this is a local gym, right? And this is a perfect reason to run lead ads for a gym. You need to get signups. You have people come in for basically a little gym tour. And what you do is you obviously run the ad, you tie it to a form, and then we're able to track how many form fills, right? Which we obviously call leads. So this was just over a month and a half. We had 70 people fill out, and we separated by ads for females, ads for males, and then we can see the cost per lead. From this point, it's just driving the leads, and then our client closes it, and we can easily help them figure out what the ROI is and what the return is and everything based off of how many times they close it. And we know if they don't run these ads, they're only getting a couple leads a week, maybe a few a month. But with these ads, we're able to drive a ton of leads, a ton of interest, and then a ton of follow-up phone calls and emails to get these people in. And as far as growth ads, this is an example of a local hotel. It's a book-themed hotel, so it's a very specific niche. So we're able to target, book people, right? People who are serious into book clubs and everything in the area, and then beyond. This kind of stretches out of the local area as well. And it's a very simple ad. We have 2 different examples, but what I want you to see at the bottom, the call to action is to like this page. And with the numbers, we can see that every 30 cents, we're getting a new follower, right? Somebody will like this page and follow. And this is over the course of from March to October, so about 7 months, 5,500 people join the community because of this ad. So very successful. And what that does is it sets up the Facebook page for success later. You drive people to Instagram, you drive people to different promotions off of social. And it's a very easy, effective way to grow your page and obviously grow your sales. So once you have the drive customers section down, right, and you've done your organic SEO, you have your Google ads, your social ads, at the same time, obviously, you're not going to just wait to do your website and make sure that's maximized, but you want to jump in and make sure your website is all set up. So this is just walks you through 10 elements to make sure your website is enhanced for conversions. There's a ton of things here. Be real, using video when you can, Make sure your phone number and contact information is there. I mean, if you are a local service that might need like, the credibility of like the BBB or Angie's List or wherever, make sure that stuff's all there. And just clear call to actions. Not every local company is gonna need a live chat, but you can see that's there. And again, if you are a service that you want people to book online, like a gym or wherever, make sure that that's all there. The other example would be for restaurants, making sure you have the reservations option right on the website. So every business is going to be a little bit different what they want to enhance, but those are some things to look at. So are you ready to enhance those website visitors from either callers, or do they know where you are? So obviously, if it's just sort of a local business where you're booking appointments, phone number, a form right down here, or if it's just a brick and mortar, you want people to come in, make sure that the address with the map is somewhere, right? This walks you through what we show our clients from website performance, right? From users to the bounce rate, to page views, average time on site, which is always important to look at, how many web forms were filled out, total leads, right? Click to call ratio. I mean, obviously every business will be a little bit different in what we want to show. That's just one example. The SEO summary we talked about before, this shows the organic sessions, which we want to look at. How many users, again, just as much data as we can provide is what we want to look at. And then be real and authentic, right? If you can, show some images of your team. So when people walk through the front door or they call, they know who they're talking to. That does go a long way for local. And then social proof, right? All that means is you're going to show your reviews. If you have a ton of Google reviews, you're going to add them to the site. If you have reviews in a different platform, you just want to grab those. Grab a few, or you can link directly to it as long as you feel like they're all positive. And the big kicker would be, if you can do it, video your favorite customers talking about your service or your products. If you want to go to our website, we do have a bunch of case studies up, badrhinoinc.com, and then go to resources and you'll see case studies. We have a ton there that focus on local business, and you can see some of them here. I suggest going there if you can, or obviously asking us an email if you have any other questions about that. So reputation, for most small local businesses, you're going to be doing that on Google Business Profile, and there's a ton of value in doing that. Not only will your new customers see this and prospect customers, but it's a way to engage obviously your current audience by responding back to them. You're going to see a ton of different value here. Customer insights, Google will share that. It's free advertising. The more you do it, also Google will place you higher up, in the search there. So, we think this is something that's sort of, there's no excuse not to do it. It's got to be made a priority here for businesses to respond back to Google reviews. Okay. And then with retargeting, right? So once you have all those other ads running on social and Google, this is a great spot where you can bring that traffic back. So how often do you see an ad and you click one time and you purchase, or you go into a business? It's pretty rare, right? You might click the ad one time. Maybe it's let's just say a local cupcake shop or a bakery, and you've heard of it, but you haven't been in. It's brand new, but the third, fourth, fifth time you click on something, maybe that's when you go in, right? So with retargeting, we're able to do this on social or really anywhere, but this allows us to track all of your website visitors or people who visit a specific page. And then we can retain that audience for really up to 180 days on social. And what you do is you set up your audiences and then you can retarget people. So what's that mean? They're on social, they go to your website one time, you can track those folks, and basically the next time they're on social, Instagram, Facebook, they see an ad and they brought right back to your website. And then you've seen this before. This is a marketing budget planner. This is different for everyone, but this is a good model to look at. Something we like to say is that, under 5% of the budget, you're going to be pretty much static for the next year. 6 to 15%, you might see moderate growth. And then for, accelerated growth, 15% and plus, right, of that budget. And then average cost per lead by source. This will be a little bit different for everyone, of course. This is for, plumbing, HVAC, electrical. You can see, what that costs for each. And your industry is going to be a little bit different than these, of course, and something we can walk you through. But you can see that, what this looks like for each of them. And then again, we can always chat about it with you to go through yours. Another example of how we get sort of average cost per lead, you can see organic calls, the PPC calls obviously is Google Ads, Google Maps calls was a big one for 409, and then web forms and chats 366. You can see all of the leads that come in, their investment, and then the cost per lead. And this is something that might be custom for you, but something we want to always work out with you. And then this is just how you earn your ROI, right, with everything. And again, this might be a little bit different for everyone, but you can see the expected ROI, the investment breakdown, the qualified leads up here, and how you get to that. And if you know what your average order value is, then you obviously can figure out, what your revenue is going to be, and then obviously what your ROI is based off of that. So having the data would be a huge help for anyone. If you don't have the data, you have to spend a bit more time. But folks who have the data can map this out pretty easily, and then you know where you're going to be going and obviously how to do it. So just a super helpful quote here, right? Half my advertising spend is wasted. The trouble is I don't know which half, right? So knowing where your money is going and what's coming back is going to be huge, because then you know what you should spend more in, what you should spend less in, and tracking everything is going to be key for really any business, but especially the folks that don't know where to start. So key takeaways, I invite you to write them down. What have you learned? What do you feel like you have to start with? Where are you going to be kind of planning, marketing objectives? What are those key takeaways? I suggest writing down 3 to 5 now, and that should help you kind of kickstart 2025. So as far as planning your focus, here's a very great sheet you can set up where you map out your months, and then your PPC, and where your ad's going to be going in each of those months. Which emails do you want to start sending if you send email? And if you don't, highly suggest you start doing it. What's your social themes for each of those months? So if your theme is going to be, this is for HVAC, in June, cool for the summer, well, they know all throughout June they should be talking about obviously summer tune-ups, tips for the summer, how to keep the house cool, how to make sure, obviously, how test their HVAC unit for the summer, all those types of things. It gives them a main theme and helps them kind of figure out what they need to do. So this is just another example of one of our local clients, which was an HVAC brand. When they came to us, they only had, I think it was 1 or 2 techs. And with our strategies, they doubled their sales and increased their lead flow by 200%. So what did that mean for them? They grew from 1 tech to 3 in less than 12 months, meaning they could take on more jobs or they can complete jobs faster. And the big thing for them was this confidence that they now have a consistent and sustainable lead flow, right? Which that keeps most business owners up at night. Where's my business going to come from? I don't know if we need to have 3-4 clients next month. I don't know where they're coming from. Well, now they knew that through this system, they knew they were going to have them each month, and they can almost pick and choose which business they wanted. What would it mean for you, right? We talked about this in the beginning. How do you want to feel at the end of 2025? What does it mean for you if you get this stuff rolling the right way? So do you need help, right? Like, do you feel like you have any questions? Do you need me to send any of these materials your way? Please reach out to rich@badrhinoinc.com. All right, let's got a couple more slides here to run through. So this is what we've talked about, the accelerated growth roadmap. These are the 9 steps that will help you quickly move through the year and triple your sales. So again, with Drive Leads, you have the organic SEO, you have your Google Ads, which we talked about as being maps, and Performance Max with store visits. We have social ads that will help you rapidly drive local awareness. It'll build engagement with your current customers, but also help you reach some new customers locally. And really a big thing with social that people forget about is the loyalty. It keeps your current customers in your ecosphere so that when you're ready to, obviously engage them again, or you have a new promotion or a new sale or a new product, they're right within your reach. As far as maximizing conversion, obviously you'll always look at your website. Is it truly set up to drive people to take that next step with you? Reputation, are you working on your Google Business Profile reviews? Do you have that set up? Do you have a system in place to drive your customers to leave reviews, right? That's super important as well. Not just responding to reviews that come in, but when you know someone had a great experience, how are you driving them to your Google Business Profile? Is it a QR code? Are you simply asking? All of those are good ways to go about it. And then retargeting. How do you keep your customers coming back? Or how do you keep those first-time visitors coming back to view your ads or just go back to your website? That's a big step here, right? And then optimizing results. Are you tracking your spend? Are you tracking your cost per lead? And then are you tracking how those leads become sales, right? With return on your investment. If you have these 9 things mapped out, you can improve each one. And then obviously you can track, and then what gets tracked gets measured, and what gets measured can be improved. The Bad Rhino Crash method is something we've been working on for over 15 years now. And we've perfected. So it really starts with that SEO organic. You have your paid ads up top, your retargeting. Then different businesses might have different online directories, like an Angie's List, or each industry might have their own. Your PPC, which is your Google ads, your social media organic and your ads there. Automation, depending on your industry, it could be automatic appointments. It could be text messaging automation. It could just be tracking your internal systems, right? So it just depends. And then repeat referral, right? Good work leads to referrals. And then obviously repeating, your ads and your everything here you see will continue to push that forward as well. So action items, right? What are those top action items? Kind of like our key takeaways we talked about. What are the top action items that you need to take right off the bat? Accelerated growth model again, right? So just to hit this home for you, you drive leads, you maximize conversion, and you optimize results. So you drive leads with your organic SEO, your organic content, your Google ads, your social content, right? Drive leads. You maximize conversion, your website, reputation, and then retarget. If your website's set to convert, then great. If those people convert and leave reviews, you have to manage that reputation and drive new reviews. And then the folks that are first-time visitors or first-time viewers on social, retarget them. Keep them seeing your content and have them part of your community. And then you optimize results, right? Your ROI, your average cost per lead, your total spend. If you know those 3 things, then you're ahead of, I'd say, 90% of your competitors, if not more than that. So what did we cover? We talked about how to set goals, your targets for the year. We talked about realigning KPIs, right? All that good stuff. And we looked at all the specific channels that you want to market to, your budget, and then obviously some trends. And then if you do all this, you're set up for massive success in 2025 and beyond. So if you'd like us to run through just a really quick free digital marketing plan review, I just have our email here hit down below, our website down below at badrhinoinc.com. But I have my email in there as well, in a few different spots. It's rich@badrhinoinc.com. We'll do a quick analysis of your online visibility, everything from how do you appear versus competitors? Are you in the top search results? Are you in the maps for Google? We'll look at some keywords for you. Any other online directories you should be part of. How do your reviews look? We can take a look at that. We'll do a quick look at social and do a deep dive versus you versus competitors. And then we'll look at your website. Is it set up for conversion? Some of this stuff you might know right off the bat, but if you need any help, please do reach out to us. All right, so strategies, plans, goals. All right, so everything we talked about, you should be set up. If you have any questions, if you need anything from us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, my email is rich@badrhinoinc.com. Thank you.